So hi guys, welcome back. I hope you liked the last video that we did. So today we're going to be doing a slightly different kind of video. We're going to be doing some colour today rather than cutting. So as you can see from Amy's hair, she hasn't had her colour done for quite some time. She's got quite a large root regrowth going on. She usually has a nice bright copper. But today we're going to be doing something still on the same lines as copper. We're going to be doing more of like a neon sort of a colour, a bit of a root shadow, neon orange into maybe a bit of a yellow end as well, just a little bit different for the summer. The first part that we're going to be having to do is bleach out this old colour through here. We're going to have to be using a bleach, lifting that bit out, leaving the root as it already is, seeing how much that colour I can get out. Depending on how light it will go, depends on how bright the copper and the yellow will go as well. So that's going to be my first thing I'm going to be doing. After that, the second part will be adding the copper and the yellow. So what I'll do is I'll do a before picture and then I'll show you the after at the end, and I'll show you the process as we're going through it as well. So if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, please give us a like and a comment below as well. So this is the bleach I'm going to be using today, guys. So it's the Swatchcraft Blonde Me Bond Enforcing Lightener. So I always use this one when I'm in the salon. I find that it's the best bleach that I've used so far, and I'm going to be mixing it today with 6% with a matching developer. And for our copper and yellow colours, we're going to be using our Manic Panic in shade Psychedelic Sunset and Sunshine as well. Both vegan products and they're semi-permanent. We don't need to mix them with a peroxide. They go straight onto pre-lightened hair. Okay, so to start with, we're going to make sure that there's no knots in the hair. So either use a wide tooth comb or a detangling brush. And for our sectioning pattern, I'm going to do what we call a hot cross bun section or a 4 section. So I'm going to go straight from the parting, straight down the back of the head. The neater you keep your sections, the easier it will be. So that gives us 2 sections, and then we're going to go from the crown to the back of the ear. That gives us 3 sections. Get rid of that. And then the same on this side. So top of the crown to the back of the ear on that side. And that gives us 4 sections, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So what I'm going to be doing is working in nice fine sections up the back of the head. And I'm just going to be applying our bleach just to the section of hair that has colour on for now. Leaving the roots as it is, I don't want them to go too light. Just focusing on the ends, mid-lengths and ends of the hair for now. Okay, so I've mixed my bleach up. Done 2 parts peroxide to 1 part of my bleach powder. Mix up quite a lot of it just to save time so I don't have to mix up more. So like I said before, I'm just going to apply to the mid-lengths and ends to start with. So what I'm going to do, make sure there's enough product all over the hair. I want nice even coverage as I go. Leaving out the roots, as they will lift a lot quicker than the ends will. And just laying that foil over like that. I have an old towel just to keep my hands nice and clean as I go up each section of hair. So I'm just working in fine sections as we go. So all the foil is doing is just protecting the hair that's inside the foil. We're not dropping all the bleach all over the show, and it's also keeping the heat trapped in as well. So just saturating the mid-lengths and ends. Picking up another foil. And there we go. Amy's got quite short hair at the back, so it's a little bit easier. Longer hair, you might need to put a foil underneath and a foil on top. don't put enough bleach on, you won't get an even lift as you go. So you want to make sure you've got enough product on and just blending up to that root line. Make sure you've got it on both sides. Piece for that section. So what I'll do is I'll do the rest of the hair and then we'll come back and I'll show you how it's lifting. So this is all the sections that I've just finished off. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to leave that to process. I'm going to keep my eye on it, but I think it's probably going to take about 20 to 30 minutes. I just wanted to get it to a nice sort of pale yellow sort of a colour, and then we'll come back, we'll do the roots, and then I'll show you the mid-lengths and ends. Okay, so I've rinsed off our bleach and we've been left with this lovely yellow colour, which is fine because we're trying to get orange and yellow anyway. So my next step now, because Amy had such a big root regrowth here, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to put her root shadow on now to about here, and then I'm going to bring some more bleach up and mix it in. So a little bit like a balayage, how I would do a balayage. If she'd have had a little bit of root regrowth and her full colour had gone all the way up there, I wouldn't have to do this next stage, and I've done it all in one. But I wanted to lift out that block colour first, nice and evenly, before I then touch the natural root. So that's what I'm going to do next. So I'll pop her roots on and then I'll come back and I'll just show you the blending technique that I would use. We'll let that process again for about 25-30 minutes, rinse it off, and then we can start with the fun colours on the ends. So I've done all my roots now as I normally would, and now what I need to do is blend out my root tint into my bleached ends now. So I'm using a slightly weaker bleach and I'm just going to start to feather like I would be doing if I was doing like a balayage or a root stretch, something like that. I'm using a weaker bleach because I'm lifting a natural root, so it doesn't need as much lift. And like I say, if you hadn't have had such big roots, I would have probably done this all in one go, just by lifting out that full colour. So this was just an extra bit of the process that we had to do. So there we have it. So now we've got our little roots, a little bit of a root stretch there, into our newly lifted section, and then into our yellow ends. So I'll let that process again for about half an hour, and then we'll come back, rinse it off, and then we'll apply all the bright colours. Okay, so this is what we are now left with after phase 2. So I've got my little bit of depth on the root, so I've got my nice copper going on there, and then all this now has been bleached to the same colour. So now for the fun part, we're going to put on our bright colours. So I'm going to go back into our 4 sections again. I'm going to work on these front panels first. So I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to start with my copper and then my yellow ends. Now this can get quite messy, so you want to keep everything as clean as possible. Blending it into that root. So bright. Wipe your glove so it doesn't mix with your yellow too much. And then let's go straight into that yellow. colours together there in that middle. So this is what you call like a colour melt. So you're melting them in together. So that you get a nice blend. Oh my god, it's so bright. I don't even think you understand right now. So there you go, that's how we get a nice colour melt. So what I'll do is I'll carry on with the rest of it and then I'll come back to you, alright? So this is all done, so it's all nicely blended in. I've gone all the way around and blended in that orange into our yellow at the bottom, and obviously we've had root shadow on top. So we'll leave this for 20 minutes, process it, come back and we'll see what we've got. So here is our finished result, and I actually can't believe it, but I actually love it. So what we've done is we've done our slightly darker root, so our root shadow. I've gone from Amy's normal shade of ginger up there just so it's easier when it grows out. We then lifted it, bleached it all the way through and applied our luminous orange and our yellow to our ends. Just put a little slight wave in it just to style it out. And I think overall it's turned out pretty well. So here we've got it from the front as well. So Nemo's been with us through this whole ordeal. It's taken 7 hours from start to finish. But if you've liked what we've done today, please give us a like, give us a comment and subscribe to our channel. Thank you!